22-year-old Jake Sullivan sat on the sand. His hands shook as he stared at the medical papers. Stage 3 lymphoma. 6 months to live. Maybe less. His golden retriever Buddy whined softly beside him. The dog pressed his wet nose against Jake's trembling palm. Buddy had been Jake's constant companion since childhood. They spent time together every morning before college classes. But those days were over now. "I cannot afford the treatment, boy," Jake whispered. His voice cracked with desperation. $300,000. We do not have that kind of money. Buddy tilted his head and wagged his tail. The dog did not understand cancer. He only understood that his human was hurting. Jake's phone buzzed with another medical bill. His part-time job at the surf shop barely covered rent. His parents had already mortgaged their house twice. The insurance company had denied his claim. He was going to die. The sun began to set over the Pacific Ocean. Other surfers packed up their boards and headed home. Jake remained frozen on the sand. He could not bring himself to leave this place. This might be his last sunset. Buddy suddenly barked and ran toward the water. The dog had spotted something unusual. An abandoned surfboard floated in the shallow waves. Some careless surfer had left it behind. "Buddy, come back," Jake called weakly. But Buddy had other plans. The golden retriever jumped onto the floating board. His paws scrambled for balance on the slippery surface. For a moment, he stood perfectly still. Then a small wave caught the board. Buddy rode it for exactly 2 seconds before tumbling into the foam. He emerged from the water with his tail wagging furiously. Other beachgoers stopped and stared in amazement.
"Did that dog just surf?"
A woman asked her friend. "I think he did," the friend replied, pulling out her phone. Jake watched in stunned silence. Buddy had never shown interest in surfboards before. The dog had always preferred chasing tennis balls and swimming. But something had changed. Buddy climbed back onto the board with determined persistence. This time, he crouched lower and spread his paws wider. Another wave approached. The dog rode it for 4 seconds now. A small crowd began to gather. People laughed and pointed with genuine delight. Someone started recording with their phone camera.
"That is the coolest thing I have ever seen,"
a teenager shouted. Jake felt a spark of something he had not experienced in weeks. Hope? Or maybe just desperate inspiration. What if this was not just a random moment? What if this was an opportunity? That night, Jake researched everything about viral videos. He learned about monetization and sponsorship deals. He discovered stories of ordinary people raising millions for medical treatments. The plan formed slowly in his exhausted mind. He would teach Buddy to surf properly. He would film their training sessions. He would start a YouTube channel and tell their story. Maybe the internet would help them find a miracle. The next morning, Jake dragged his old surfboard to the beach. Buddy bounded alongside him with excited energy. The dog seemed to understand they were embarking on something important. "Okay, boy," Jake said, his voice stronger than yesterday. "Let us see what you can really do." He placed Buddy on the board in shallow water. The dog immediately fell off sideways into the sand. Jake tried again. Buddy slipped backward this time. After an hour of failures, both were exhausted and frustrated. Jake's cancer treatments had left him weak. Buddy was confused and scared of the unstable board now. "This is hopeless," Jake muttered, collapsing onto the sand. But Buddy was not ready to give up. The determined golden retriever approached the board again. This time, he climbed on more carefully. He kept his center of gravity low. A tiny wave nudged the board forward. Buddy rode it for exactly 1 second before falling. But that 1 second was progress. Jake grabbed his phone and started recording. "Day 1 of teaching my dog to surf," he said weakly. "This is Buddy. I am Jake. We are trying something crazy here." He uploaded the shaky video to YouTube that night. The title read, "Help Us Fight Cancer, Teaching My Dog to Surf for Treatment Money." The video got 12 views in the first week. All from Jake's family members. His cousin Emma commented, "This is sweet, but maybe try a different approach." His Aunt Patricia wrote, "Praying for you both. But dogs cannot really surf, honey." Jake felt his hope crumbling. Maybe everyone was right. Maybe this was just a desperate fantasy. But Buddy had other ideas. The second week brought new challenges. Jake's chemotherapy sessions left him nauseated and dizzy. Some days he could barely walk to the beach. Buddy seemed to sense his human's declining health. The dog became more protective and gentle. He would curl up beside Jake during the worst moments. Their surfing progress was painfully slow. Buddy managed to stay on the board for 3 seconds. Then 5 seconds. Then 7. Jake filmed everything with trembling hands. The videos showed their small victories and crushing defeats. His view count remained stubbornly low. 23 views. 31 views. 15 views. "We are failing, Buddy," Jake whispered one evening. His medical bills kept piling up like a paper mountain. The collection agencies called daily. His doctor had delivered worse news that afternoon. The cancer was spreading faster than expected. Treatment needed to start immediately. Without treatment, Jake had maybe 4 months left. The third week changed everything in the most unexpected way. Jake was too sick to visit the beach that Tuesday morning. His latest chemotherapy session had left him bedridden with fever. Buddy paced around the apartment with restless energy. Finally, the golden retriever made a decision. He squeezed through the loose fence boards and ran toward the ocean. Buddy had never ventured to the beach alone before. But somehow, he found his way. Leo Navarro was enjoying a solo surf session when he noticed movement in the water. A large golden dog was swimming toward his surfboard with purposeful determination. "Hey there, boy," Leo called out. "Where did you come from?" Buddy circled the surfboard and whined. The dog clearly wanted something. Leo had grown up around water dogs, but this behavior was strange. Then Buddy did something incredible. He climbed onto Leo's board without invitation. The dog positioned himself carefully and looked toward the incoming waves. "No way," Leo breathed. "You want to surf?" A perfect wave approached from the west. Leo guided the board into position. Buddy crouched low and spread his paws wide. The wave caught them perfectly. For 15 magical seconds, Leo and Buddy rode together in perfect harmony. The dog balanced with natural grace while the crowd on the beach erupted in amazement.
"Someone film this!"
A woman screamed.
"I am already recording!"
A teenager replied, holding up his phone. The video of Buddy's solo beach adventure went viral within hours. Someone had posted it to TikTok with the caption, "Random dog shows up and surfs better than me." The clip exploded across social media platforms. Within 24 hours, it had 3 million views. Comments poured in from around the world. "This dog is a legend. How is this even possible? Someone needs to find the owner. This made my entire day." Jake woke up to his phone buzzing with notifications. Thousands of them. His YouTube channel had gained 50,000 subscribers overnight. But more importantly, people were donating to his cancer treatment fund. The donations started small. $5 here. $10 there. But they quickly multiplied as the story spread. Leo had found Jake's original videos and shared them everywhere. The internet fell in love with their heartwarming story. Local news stations picked up the tale. "Dog learns to surf to save owner's life" became a headline across California. Within a week, Jake's fund had reached $50,000. Then $100,000. The momentum was building like a massive wave. But Jake's health was deteriorating rapidly. The viral fame meant nothing if he could not survive long enough for treatment. His doctors moved up the surgery date. The cancer had spread to his lymph nodes. Every day of delay decreased his chances of survival. "I need to get back to the beach," Jake told his worried parents. "Buddy needs to keep practicing. People are counting on us now." His mother Helen tried to protest. "You can barely stand up, sweetheart. Maybe you should rest." "I cannot rest," Jake replied with fierce determination. "Not when we are this close to saving my life." The fourth week brought their biggest challenge yet. Jake could only manage 30 minutes at the beach before exhaustion overwhelmed him. But Buddy was improving rapidly. The dog now rode waves for 20 seconds at a time. His balance had become almost supernatural. People traveled from across the country to watch them practice. The beach crowds grew larger every day. Jake set up a camera and addressed his growing audience. "Buddy and I want to thank everyone for your incredible support. We have raised $200,000 so far." His voice was weak but hopeful. "The doctors say we have enough for the initial surgery now. But we still need more for the full treatment protocol." Buddy barked and wagged his tail as if he understood every word. The comments section exploded with encouragement. "You two are an inspiration. Buddy is the best surfer I have ever seen. Keep fighting, Jake. We are all rooting for you." This story gives me hope for humanity. Before we continue with Jake's most crucial week, do not forget to like and subscribe. It really helps the channel grow and brings hope to more people fighting their own battles. The fifth week delivered their most devastating setback yet. Jake collapsed on the beach during a filming session. Paramedics rushed him to the hospital with dangerously low blood pressure. His oncologist delivered the harsh truth. "Your body cannot handle much more delay. We need to start aggressive treatment immediately." But the fundraising campaign. Jake protested weakly. "The campaign cannot help if you do not survive to receive treatment." Jake faced an impossible choice. Start treatment now with partial funding, or risk death waiting for more donations. That night, he made a video from his hospital bed. Buddy lay beside him on the narrow mattress, refusing to leave his human side. "Everyone, I have to be honest with you," Jake said, his voice barely above a whisper. "The doctors say I cannot wait any longer. We are going to start treatment tomorrow with whatever money we have raised." Tears rolled down his cheeks. "I do not know if it will be enough for the full protocol. But Buddy and I want to thank you for giving us this chance." The video went viral faster than any previous post. People shared it with desperate urgency. The donation counter climbed rapidly through the night. By morning, they had reached their full goal. $300,000. Enough for every treatment Jake needed. The surgery took place on a sunny Thursday morning. Jake's last conscious thought was of Buddy waiting for him in the hospital parking lot. The operation lasted 8 grueling hours. Surgeons removed the primary tumor and several affected lymph nodes. The cancer had spread further than expected. But they got it all. Jake woke up 3 days later to find Buddy sleeping on a blanket beside his bed. Hospital staff had made a special exception for the famous surfing duo. "How did it go?" Jake asked his surgeon. Dr. Patricia Williams smiled broadly. "Better than we hoped. We removed all visible cancer. Your prognosis is excellent." Jake burst into tears of relief and gratitude. Buddy opened his eyes and gently licked his human's hand. They had done it. Together, they had accomplished the impossible. The recovery process took 3 long months. Jake underwent intensive chemotherapy and radiation treatments. Buddy never left his side during the difficult days. The dog seemed to understand that their surfing adventures were temporarily on hold. But he waited patiently for his human to regain strength. Their YouTube channel continued growing during recovery. People around the world followed Jake's treatment progress. The surfing videos became symbols of hope for cancer patients everywhere. Messages poured in from other families facing similar battles. Your story inspired us to start our own fundraising campaign. Buddy gives us hope during our daughter's treatment. You too proved that miracles are possible. Thank you for showing us how to fight with courage. 6 months after surgery, Jake received the news he had prayed for. His latest scans showed no evidence of cancer. He was officially in remission. The first place he wanted to celebrate was Malibu Beach. Jake and Buddy walked onto the sand together on a perfect California morning. The ocean sparkled under brilliant sunshine. Other surfers waved and cheered when they recognized the famous pair. "Are you ready for this, boy?" Jake asked, picking up his surfboard. Buddy barked with pure excitement. He had been waiting for this moment through every difficult day of treatment. They waded into the warm Pacific waters together. Jake climbed onto his board first, then helped Buddy find his position. A perfect wave approached from the horizon. Jake paddled into position while Buddy crouched low and steady. The wave caught them with gentle power. For 30 glorious seconds, they rode together across the sparkling surface. Jake laughed with pure joy while Buddy barked triumphantly. The crowd on the beach erupted in celebration. They had beaten cancer. They had proven that love and determination could overcome impossible odds. As they rode that perfect wave toward shore, Jake whispered to his faithful companion, "When hope seems gone, sometimes it is your best friend who helps you ride the biggest wave of your life." Buddy wagged his tail and pressed closer to his human. Together, they had found their miracle in the most unexpected place. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It means a lot to me and really helps me continue making these incredible stories for you.